good old boy down in Texas, John Beautiful, that's his name. Heard him talk about our country, Lord, I feel just the same. He speaks his mind, trying to help mankind and the people of the USA. Yeah, oh, John Beautiful, he got a lot to say. Oh yes he does, 'cause there's a good old boy down in Texas, turning Texas blue. And there's a blue dot family in the USA. All over this world. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a blue dot family.
There is indeed, baby. How y'all doing? Oh, shit, I forgot something else. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. What does it matter? I'm as ugly as I'm ever going to be. Anyway, Sherry Puckett was the first one to jump in, followed by Dwayne Dwizzle. The remixtress is here. Keith Ellis, thank you, buddy, for jumping in. Bruce Preston. Mega Wet Willie is with us. Jeff Curry. Let me see. Michael Foulbister, thank you, buddy. Aaron Trombley's here. Charles Stokel. Jeanette Miller, thank you. Stringed Assassin is amongst our midst. Here we go, baby. Tracey Tobias, my next door neighbor, thank you for being here, baby. Karen Van Wyck. Now, how many times in a row does that make that I have not screwed that up? I'm patting myself on the back. I'm getting better at this shit. George Murray's here. Nancy Halverson, thank you. Let me see. Kelly K. Duncan all the way from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Thank you. Lucas Cooper for being here. Jose Marquise all the way from Southern California, baby. My kids are still talking about California. Came back and I think they want to move or something. Let me jump on down here and find out who else is here. Anyway, it is Sunday, baby. We get to start the whole week all over again. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. I'm supposed to have this button pushed. Oh, yeah, that makes a big difference. You can see my ugly a whole lot better now. Anyway, what's going on? Well, a lot. I watched the morning talk shows this morning, and before we get into discussion of one of the things I really want to talk about is two things that I saw on the morning talk shows this morning. One was Governor Kristi Noem out of South Dakota was on a talk show this morning, and they were talking about a lot of things, but the subject of abortion came up, and of course in South Dakota, thou shalt not. And she was asked about the recent case in Ohio, where a 10-year-old little girl was raped and is impregnated. She is 6 weeks, 3 days, I think is what they said. And Kristi Noem was asked, should that little girl be forced to carry that baby, a 10-year-old? Kristi Noem immediately jumps into, well, we really need to get after these sex abusers. No, ain't nobody arguing that point. Ain't nobody out there going, no, gee whiz, I wonder how we can stop this with these men that want to rape little girls. Yeah, we've already covered those bases. She is dancing around outside her ass to try to not come up and spill out of her mouth what everybody should say. Yes, that baby should be aborted. Yes, that pregnancy should be aborted. Not a baby. It's not a baby. It's a piece of goo at this point. And it's a rape victim. It's a 10-year-old. Are you shitting me? The little girl in Ohio has to go to Illinois because Ohio says, oh, no, you don't. Are you shitting me? And when Kristi Noem answered that it's not right that we answer one tragedy with another tragedy. She's saying that the little girl got raped was a tragedy, but having an abortion is a tragedy. No, No, getting raped was a tragedy. The other tragedy is your sanctimonious ass sitting up there saying that thou shalt have that baby. I don't care about anything else. My God says you got to have that baby. Fuck you. She's trying to set her ass up to run either for president or hope to get picked by Donnie, who we already found out is thinking about a 2024 run, and boy, howdy shit, we're fixing to get into that. But the other thing I noticed this morning on the talk shows was Adam Kinzinger. Adam Kinzinger was on there, and he was asked, have you had more people come forward since Cassidy Hutchinson came up to testify? Have you had more people and more evidence come forth? Oh, yes, on both counts. Hold on to your britches. As a matter of fact, I think he said, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Liz Cheney's out there talking about there could be multiple criminal referrals coming out of this, including Trump. Yeah, baby, I'm thinking they're picking shit up. And, yeah, we need to get our shit together, baby, because this weekend we were celebrating the 4th of July, the birth of our country, the freedoms that we're supposed to enjoy. And we're watching a court that is trying to take those freedoms away one by one, baby. They're not too keen on those, freedoms that you have. They'd like to cut back on a few of them. Only a few that they don't like. The ones that they like, oh, yeah, they're all for that shit. Anyway, it does. If you pay attention, it gives us all reason to take pause and understand that our democracy is under attack. Full force, baby. And that man's thinking about declaring his run again. I've told y'all before, I thought he was going to wait until after midterms. Hopefully the Republicans would take over and he would just declare himself, and here we go to the britches, baby. But he's thinking about coming early. I think in an attempt to try to pressure the remaining Republicans who are still stuck to his ass to stay in line, and he'll whip their shit if they don't. Anyway, we're going to get into a whole lot of that discussion in just a second here. Let me take up a big thank you to thank my neighbor, Tracey Tobias. And she's not my neighbor, but I kind of wish she was, because when she first, anyway. Tracey Tobias came in with a $5 donation and said, just a little something for you, neighbor. Well, Tracey, thank you very much, baby. We appreciate tremendously. It does. I made the comment the other day. We got a donation, and it helped pay the internet bill so I could stay on the air, and it just came in right at the right moment, or we would have had trouble. So thank you very much for those donations. We appreciate it tremendously. Let's go ahead and let me see who's got their hand raised here. Let me see if I can find my freaking mouse. Come on, man. You got to make the mouse go over 3 screens to find it. So I'm trying my best, baby. Again, I just got off the phone with my brother out in Tennessee. Had a great conversation. The family's out there all doing well. And I had just hung up when I ran in here and had to get the title going and turn on the cameras and the lights and all that shit. David, how are you doing?
You're doing fine, John.
Good. Your day's going good? Got good plans for the holiday here?
Mostly to make sure my dogs don't go insane from the fireworks.
That's my plan. Keeping my donkey. We got a place for her under the house. We're going to put her in and make
Poor
sure.
Jenny, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. They well, let's hope that's changed. But in the past, they have taken great joy in trying to terrorize the shit out of her. When you're a Democrat, the only Democrat in the neighborhood, and you got a donkey, well, what else are they going to do for entertainment? But let's hope, above all hope, that
people that torment donkeys only make asses of themselves.
That's true, buddy. Any animal you torment or hurt, I'm big on animal rights. I love animals. Period. I don't care what it is. If it's breathing and makes me smile, I'm happy about it. Anyway, hey David, did you see Thom Hartmann's post on Twitter?
I did not.
Well, I kind of thought that we might take a minute to go through his tweet, which is broken into several pieces. But and Thom Hartmann, I watch him on Free Speech TV, and I enjoy his show. I like Stephanie Miller, the only woman I call mama besides my wife. I enjoy her show. I enjoy a lot of other shows, but Thom Hartmann put out a tweet. Now I don't know whether to read this whole thing and then go into discussion, or take it line by line. I think I'll read the whole. You want me to read the whole
The whole
thing?
tweet is 60 lines long, so yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go through the first. I think
It's
it's
an essay.
15. Yeah, it's an essay. I think we're going to go through the first 15, and it kind of sets the stage. Yes, it's quite lengthy, and it's scary because the scenario that he puts forth, you can see, and it's scary. We'll go through a few here, and then we'll find a spot to see if anybody else wants to join the conversation and talk about it. But here we go. This is Thom Hartmann, and he put out, like David said, a series of tweets. Might want to call it a prediction. Anyway, it starts off with the nightmare scenario SCOTUS is plotting for the 2024 election. 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court just announced, a story that largely flew under the nation's political radar, that they will consider pre-rigging the presidential election of 2024. And of course, my freaking iPad sharps. Of 2024. Here's how one aspect of it could work out if they go along with the GOP's arguments that will be before the court this October. It's November 2024, and the presidential race between Biden and DeSantis has been tabulated by the states and called by the networks. Biden won 84 million votes, to DeSantis 77 million votes, clearly carrying a popular vote. But the popular vote isn't enough. George W. Bush lost to Al Gore by 500,000 votes, and Donald Trump lost to Hillary Clinton by 3 million votes, but both ended up in the White House. What matters is the Electoral College vote, and that looks good for Biden, too. As CNN is reporting, the outcome is a virtual clone of the 2020 election. Biden carries the same states that he did, and DeSantis carries all the Trump states. It's 306 to 232 in the Electoral College, a 74-vote Electoral College lead for Biden, at least as calculated by CNN and the rest of the media. Biden is heading to the White House for another 4 terms. Let's pause right there. That's the scenario that Thom Hartmann is laying out, that is Joe Biden against Ron DeSantis. And we have the same outcome that we had in the 2020 election. And that is that Biden wins, and the Electoral College confirms that, but hold on to your britches. And that's what happened in 2020. And that's what's still going on right now. Is that hold on to your britches part. They had a debate this morning or this weekend, or maybe it was Friday, hell, I don't know. It was in Arizona, of the Republican gubernatorial candidates, those running for governor in the state of Arizona on the Republican ticket. Oh my God, are you shitting me? Hell yes, the big lie is alive and well in Arizona, and I don't know where they get these nut jobs from. They're coming out of the woodwork because the only requirement seems to be that you really have to kiss Donnie's ass a whole lot. Was the election rigged? Yes, it was rigged. Did Donnie really win the election? Yes, he really won. The Democrats lied. No, it's a constant barrage of bullshit that these people have to keep coming out of their mouth to satisfy their leader, their king, their Lord and Master, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I don't know, David. It gets scary. I don't want to leave y'all hanging. So
It's scary for it potentially directs us, and we've already had the incident of the 10-year-old girl.
Yes.
We've already had incidents that show what these extreme decisions that are being handed down from on high now by the Supreme Court, what they're going to do to the nation as a whole.
Indeed. And right now, David, I'm really hoping against all hope that what we're seeing come out of the court and the display in the Republican states on how far they want to carry this voter suppression bullshit, I hope is going to awake the country. The Supreme Court coming down with, you've got tax money going to religious schools. Your Miranda rights have been maybe we'll give them, maybe we don't. They don't really matter. You've got your gun issue, where the Supreme Court's saying, everybody can walk around with a gun, it's okay. Then we've got the Roe v. Wade decision, which is probably the biggest bombshell. And then we come up with a decision out of the court for restricting the EPA on
power plants.
On power plants. And they're not done. They're not done,
No.
baby. And
I mean, if you look at some of the cases working their way through the lower courts,
yeah,
we've got challenges to same-sex marriage coming up. We've got birth control challenges coming up. It's kind of a race between those two, which makes it to the court first.
Yeah. Yeah, and both of them are on their radar. You know, it is. It's going to be everything that we've talked about, that you've heard talked about in the news. It's going to be gay marriage. It's going to be contraception. It's going to be a lot of issues that are going to be in front of the court, and it ain't looking good. You know, let me continue this on, because here comes the part that we have to pay attention to. Remember now, in this scenario, Joe Biden has beaten Ron DeSantis in the Electoral College. Let me see. Until the announcement here's the next line. So I'll go back. It said it's 306 to 232 in the Electoral College, a 74-vote Electoral College lead for Biden, at least as calculated by CNN and all of the rest of the media. Biden is heading to the White House for another 4 years. But wait, there's more. Until the announcement comes out of Georgia, although Biden won the popular vote in Georgia, their legislature decided it can overrule the popular vote and just award the state's 16 electoral votes to DeSantis instead of Biden. An hour later, we hear from the 5 other states with Republican-controlled legislators where Biden won the majority of the vote, just like he had in 2020. North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, each has followed Georgia's lead, and their legislature has awarded the Electoral College votes, even though Biden won the popular vote to each state, to DeSantis. And thus a total of 89 Electoral College votes from the 6 states moved from Biden to DeSantis, who's declared the winner and will be sworn in on January 20th, 2025.
That's the real terrifying thing right there.
That is, but I'm not going to go on reading everything because I don't want to bore everybody. But
well, they want to take your vote away from you.
Yes, they
people.
do. And
your choice this election is vote or maybe never get a chance to vote again.
Yeah, because that's what it's looking like. Because he quotes the case that is in front of the court that is coming up, and we've seen this law being implemented across the country in Republican states where they're talking about the right of the state legislation to look at the vote and somebody said there's fraud out there, so we're not going to take the vote. We're going to decide for the people, and here's what we decide, and here's the slate of electors. They tried to do this in 2020 with the fake electors that Donnie was trying to pull off, except this time they want to do it legally if the court lets these laws stand. And they
won't have to worry about fake electors. They'll send whatever electors they want.
Yeah.
It won't even matter. They'll take the votes and say, "Oh, this is the result of electors passed on." You'll never, in those states, they'll never really even know unless they are in a large enough mass that their vote was stripped from them in that process, because the state doesn't have to tell them they're doing it. They say these are electors we passed on.
Democracy
we can choose.
dies.
We know best.
Behind closed doors. That's when democracy
welcome
dies.
to the Star Chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not up to you anymore. They'll decide. Like the Republican Party has been pushing for a while, it's not the quantity of the vote, it's the quality of the vote.
And down there in Texas, do you want Paxton choosing for you?
No shit.
Yeah, guy's under investigation.
Under indictment. He's under investigation and under indictment. Are you shitting me? You know, this story goes on, and like I said, I won't read every part of it. There is one line in here one part that I want to touch on. Because the other day when I was speaking about Donnie's plan here, his method of operations, I was comparing the Republicans that are still following him today to 1933 Germany and what the German people allowed themselves to do under the guidance of Hitler, Hitler inspired these people to do atrocities, to make terrible things happen. And I see that in these maggots. They are no longer concerned with democracy, baby. They are concerned with installing their king, And that's what their plan is, baby. If they can't win this time, they're coming back with a better plan. That's all. But here's a little part that he wrote that when I read it, it just went bang, there it is. Just this happened when Pinot's militias shot into the crowds as he took over Chile, when Mussolini's volunteer militia in the black shirts killed civilians as he took over Italy, and Hitler's brown shirts did in Germany. Their allies among the police and the army refused to intervene. That's the danger of having somebody like Trump in our body politic.
We saw this weekend in Woodland, California, nearby where I live, where a bunch of Proud Boys decided they were going to go break up a drag show that was happening at a club there.
Oh, Lord.
And the police showed up in the disruption, even though these people were having to barricade themselves in the club to defend themselves against the Proud Boys. The police made no arrests. And then you look at all these incidents of Proud Boys across the nation, and there were several. The police aren't making any arrests against the Proud Boys. And that just strikes me as suspicious.
It should be all of us. Because you saw how Donnie came out when he was president, and he was talking, he's a big law and order president everywhere he went. He pats the police on the back. He gained their support. And I have to wonder, because I know my sheriff that I have here in Nueces County, Texas, is an ex-oath keeper. I got to say ex. He quit. I don't know, seen the light or whatever the fuck he saw. But it tells me who he was, who he is. You know, and that's disheartening. That's what Thom Hartmann is talking about. In those instances, when Mussolini and Hitler took over, he was aided by the militias in the popular will of the people that he inspired. Just like Trump inspired the people on January 6th to go down to the Capitol and hang Mike Pence. Yeah. What do you think would have happened if Donnie Boy would have made it down to the Capitol, baby? Yeah, it wouldn't have ended well. Donnie would have had the head of Mike Pence on a pike outside freaking Congress. That's what would have happened. And he would have taken over. Just do it. And that's what's scary about this.
Well, he would have declared himself,
Indeed.
declared the election illegal.
Indeed.
Throwing things into confusion. It wouldn't have been decided and everyone just started following him, but it would have created enough confusion that we would have suddenly had two working governments operating at the same time. That doesn't work out very well.
Usually there's a problem ensues, when they're trying to figure out who's in charge. I don't know. I have high hopes right now after listening to Kinzinger this morning talking about, because they asked him if more people come forward, have you got more evidence since Cassidy Hutchinson? And he was smiling, saying, yeah, they do. And hold on.
I'm buying into hypothesis I heard about that. The reason they put Cassidy Hutchinson out there was for bait, to see if they could get these now anonymous Secret Service agents that are trying to tell her part of her story isn't true, to try to get them out of the woodwork to show themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did bait them forward, and now they either have to testify or shut up. Or they could subpoena him, force him.
Yeah.
And I think they have the receipts behind a lot of what she testified. They just didn't play their hands on it yet. I think they've got proof.
Well, who is it? What's the guy's name? The ex-Secret Service that went to work for Donnie, who was relating the story. And that's what Cassidy testified to. She didn't testify. She's in the limo. She saw this shit. She said, I was told by Mr. Tarantino, I want to say. But there's another person standing there. And nobody's disputing that part. I'm really, a lot of people, I think, were put on notice when she came out. Mark Meadows, I think, has really got to be sweating this shit out. He's got
Meadows doesn't cut a deal. He's going to prison.
That's what I'm thinking. And I think that's what Liz Cheney's talking about when she's saying more than one criminal recommendation. It's not just Donnie. It takes more than one person to conspire this shit. Mark Meadows looks to be right in the thick of it, along with the rest of Rudy Giuliani and the rest of the nut jobs over there. But Mark is chief of staff, man. You know, this is not looking good for, you know, the Republican Party. But then again, who the fuck over on the Republican side gives a shit?
That was their worst defense of all, where they were trying to say this Cassidy Hutchinson, she's no one important. You know, they're trying to down her importance. She was your first assistant to your chief of staff. Are you crazy?
At one point or another,
she was in on every
they thought
meeting.
She was good, didn't they?
Well, it's always their fallback position. You just got a coffee for me, crap like that.
Yeah.
Why do people? Here's what I don't get, John, and everybody. This is something that is starting to baffle me bad.
What?
They keep using the same lies and excuses over and over again when somebody comes forward. Oh, I don't hardly know him, but he's totally undependable. Well, if you don't know him, you don't know he's undependable. And they weren't a very important part of the office, but they're misrepresenting all these meetings they were at. Well, which is it? You guys have been doing the same dance since before Trump was elected.
Over and over. Yeah. You know.
I'm sorry, that just drives me crazy. And people just shovel it in like it was mac and cheese.
Eat it up, baby. That's what, you know, it's so, I'll tell you what, I'm sad with what I'm sorry. I got lost in a thought.
Sorry. I was thinking to myself, there are people that I've just all but screamed at going, you know what? The brown chunks are in that macaroni and cheese they're feeding you that you keep shoveling in. Are you even aware of this? Because they're getting you used to the taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soylent Green.
Pretty soon you'll have a bowl full of brown stuff.
Yeah. Just eat it. Smile. Put some sugar on it. It'll be fine. It's a pile of shit. And they sell it so well.
Well, that's what the right-wing media, Fox News on down, is for. To get you used to believing the lie. Get you used to believing the crap. Get you used to authoritarianism. And authoritarianism is good.
It seems to be working thanks to Fox Spews. Bullshit Mountain and the rest of that bullshit over there.
Doesn't work on everybody, but it doesn't have to.
No, it doesn't. And I like to think that, you know, slowly but surely, and there has been some movement, they say, in the polls of people being asked stuff, especially after the January 6th hearings here. So, yeah, there is a slight movement. The
hearings are starting to do their job.
Yeah.
The hearings are starting to shake, if not shake loose people completely, at least make them now uncomfortable. That's a start.
Right. And it should make a whole lot of people uncomfortable right now. But one by one, you know, I think they'll come around. But man,
you remember the Gotti trials, the whole John Gotti trials?
Gotti. Yeah,
it took forever to get Gotti. It took forever to get somebody to finally flip on them. This is going to be like that or worse. It's just going to take a long time. We can, though, go forward with some charges before the election. We need to.
Right.
Paula's absolutely right over there on YouTube. Garland needs to act.
Yes. And like I said before, I would rather see Garland act organically. Let the DOJ come out and do it without a referral from Congress. Let them do it. Because it would just instill more confidence in the DOJ rather than waiting for the Congress to get done with the committee and then make a referral over. That and I don't want to wait till the last. You know, this stuff needs to come out and be in front of the people's face before the midterms.
I keep looking at my calendar going, we have 4 months to this election. 4 months.
Time is running by, and you know, we need to pick up steam, baby. We need to kick this shit in the ass. Either that we sit around and hum-haul about this, it'll slide right by us. Next thing you know, you got a Republican Senate and House, and January 6th committee just goes away. Becomes secondary to the headline news of whatever the hell the Republican Party is going to do next.
I still think we can't even depend on Garland, and as much as I hate it, even most of the Democratic leadership, I think the only answer is our vote, our voice. We have to repudiate it. We have to start getting the word out there.
It's the most powerful answer there is our vote, our voice. And if we exercise it right, then, yeah, that's where the message comes from. That's when they are forced to take note. If we really
repudiate the Republicans this November, if we get enough seats put into the Senate and keep the House, maybe even add some seats there, surprise everybody, there has to be a clear message at that point sent to the Democrats action. And maybe we put in enough Democrats to start getting that action in the right direction, especially if we could do something like get Stacey Abrams and Beto O'Rourke in office.
Yeah.
We've got some potentials out there that really could shift it.
Brother.
That would be such a big step for Texas.
I want to see Texas turn blue with the way that Texas has been acting here lately with their Republican convention here and coming up with all sorts of bullshit. It's an embarrassment. Right down to, the disgusting thought that the Texas Board of Education wants to replace the word slavery with involuntary relocation.
I saw that.
Really?
Can you believe that shit?
Really? That's what you think it was? That's what value you put on that chapter in America's history? Oh, it was just involuntary relocation.
We simply relocated these people and inconvenienced them.
Inconvenienced them. They had to learn how to adjust to it. No. Yeah, we involuntarily relocated them and then forced labor for the next 100 years. I
guess packing them in a slave ship like sardines, where a lot of them died along the trip, treating them like hell the whole way. That's just inconvenient.
That's where my state's going. They want to succeed from the Union. They believe Joe Biden stole the election. It's batshit crazy crap. And my governor, my lieutenant governor, my attorney general, half my damn congressman.
I got one thing to say to everyone that still believes the election was stolen. Don't vote. It's not going to matter anyway because we're just going to steal the election against it.
Vote anyway.
Stay at home.
Yeah.
If you believe the election was stolen, stay at home because the election, your vote doesn't matter. Stay at home, guys.
That'll prove it. Yeah. You could probably sell that to some of them. Let me thank Keith Thompson, who came in with a $2 donation and said, they only hire the best people. Yeah, they only hire the best people, the best. He's got his ass in a crack. I am. He's going to declare, though. He is. I think that's what he's thinking right now, is that if he declares his nomination or his bid for president, it's going to put a lot of people.
This is where that commission and the hearings have done their job. They have forced Trump's hand. Yeah. He has to stay relevant. This is his only move to stay relevant and still work the grift for money.
Right.
So he's going to have to declare a lot earlier than he would have wanted to. And this is going to force the Republicans into a real dilemma: support Trump or go behind someone else. I'm hoping it is the
and Trump's going to come out swinging.
Does DeSantis then back off and let Trump have it, or does DeSantis engage Trump at that point? And then they start spending money on attacking each other. They start spending time in commercials on attacking each other and tearing each other down. I'm all for it. Trump, declare today.
I'm waiting to see the fist fight, baby. Anybody that, and right now, it looks like Ron DeSantis.
And that's where Trump will beat DeSantis if they have to debate. And I doubt if they even debate. I don't think they probably don't even bother with it.
I don't think Trump
plays dirty better than DeSantis does.
Yeah. Trump is better at putting little turds out on Truth Social or making some ignorant comment somewhere than really getting on a stage and debating anybody. We saw that when Hillary Clinton kicked his ass. And I love the meme that's going around with Hillary Clinton's face all the time now, and it says she was right about everything. And she was. She was
senator in New York. She knew about all of his crap that he did in New York.
He's a crook.
The only thing I maybe fault her for is that she still was taking money for him for running for office back then. But she knew about him. It wasn't like it was a mystery.
Yeah. No, none of this was a mystery. Let me see. What did that? Oh, the headline just changed, and it just says Cheney January 6th panel could make multiple criminal referrals. Said there could be more than one criminal referral, and that a referral of Trump was possible. How could it not be possible? Sure. If you're gonna hand out any criminal referrals, either you go after the mastermind, the head guy, the mob boss, or what? Just all the underlying lieutenants, which I think they need to do anyway. That's what I mean. Mark Meadows and others. Go down the list with Jim Jordan, Scott Perry. These people.
You know what it reminds me of, John?
What?
You remember the movie Jaws, right?
Oh yeah.
when they were shooting the barrels in the shark at the end, trying to get it to goat it up. What we're doing right now is shooting barrels into Trump.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it where he can't dive down deep and hide. He has to stay near the surface. And that's what this committee is continue to do. Every single criminal referral they make will be a barrel into Trump.
We're waiting for him to suck in that air tank.
Somebody's going to break sooner or later and testify against him. One of these big guys sooner or later is going to say, I don't want to spend the rest of my life either fighting these charges or in prison. We'll see who it is.
Here's what scares me. Jane Hansen just made a comment and said, but the Democrats need a strong position for 2024, and I'm not sure we'll have that. There's our problem right now, because I understand Jane with the bullshit.
Jane's right.
Yeah, we're not getting all the cats corralled and heading in one direction. We're still all over the place, even with the January 6th committee going on. It is.
They used infrastructure once.
Yeah.
Sorry, they used the infrastructure once. They can't really use that again in 2024. Or even that's one of the reasons they're not even pushing it in 2022, because it didn't quite work out. There are a number of issues that we could take and get behind to make a strong stand on that would get the country excited. The majority of people do it. Right now, it's still response, though. They're still wanting to use, like, abortion. Well, we're going to codify Roe. Yep. Good. That's a strong part. That doesn't quite unify the country behind some ideas. They could put together a platform like decriminalizing marijuana or universal health care. One of the very insanely popular ones the Republicans have no fight against. They've already shown they have no
Yeah, they have
healthcare
nothing
plan.
when it comes to health care. They don't have
We
any
could seize
idea.
on a solid platform for these for 2024. They need to get behind it. One that we basically all agree on. They're out there.
Right now, I think Biden is spending a whole lot of time trying to make some impact on the economy because, well, that's what they keep saying is everybody's concerned about the price of gas, like Joe Biden got a damn thing to do with it.
Hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
They complain about it. Then when he puts, it's the same as they did with baby formula. They complain when he actually puts forth legislation or ideas that would help mitigate it. They vote against it.
Yep. They're not here to make progress. They're here to make trouble. They're here to make outlandish claims and be outraged at everything, and blame and point their finger at all at the Democrats. And they're not willing to do a damn thing over on that side for any subject. You name it, they're not on board, baby. They're only on board for one thing: complain, point their finger, and hope like hell they get back in so they can rob the bank some more.
It's what I love asking Republicans right now. It says, what's your platform? What do you stand for? What are you trying to promote?
Right. Yeah.
And they come back with dumb answers like freedom.
Freedom. That's always their answer. Freedom and liberty. And it seems to me like they'd be all too willing to get rid of both.
Please show me what freedoms your government has extended. They've helped restrict them, haven't they?
Have they taken their gun? Oh, no, they haven't done that yet. Taken away their right to yap their mouth? No. Their religion? No. What is it that they are so concerned about? When they say freedom, baby, it means their freedom to negate your vote, to
Some of them have slipped up on that, like the lady from Illinois. It's racism. It is white supremacy, thinly disguised.
Yeah, did you see the march through Boston?
When they talk about freedom. Oh, God, yes, I did.
Oh, that's just disgusting. It is. It's a sad statement of our nation when that is just, that is tolerated in our society. And I understand the freedoms that we all enjoy to do whatever they want, to march against. But you could see their embarrassment. I mean, if you're going to march for something you believe on, why are you covering your face? Why wouldn't you put your face out there and be proud of what you believe? But no, they hide. And it's a disgusting little group of little racist pricks who want to pat each other on the back and talk about how white they are. I don't know.
I call their masks the White Hood 2.0.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's bullshit. Bellica.
Hello.
How are you doing, dear?
I'm okay.
Good. How's your weekend going so far?
It's okay.
You gonna get ready for a big 4th of July celebration, or?
No, not really.
No, that's neither. We're gonna sit home and, like David, try to take care of our animals. Because I'm expecting.
I gotta sit at home and have my nerves be on edge with all the loud noises.
Yep. Yep. And we're expecting a bunch of, although we shouldn't because there is a burn ban in our area. Everything around here is dry. The fire risk around here is high.
It's not like they care.
No, not really.
Take a water hose and flush down as much as your property as you can possible.
Yeah, keep going. Everything around here is just tender dry. We haven't had any rain here in a while.
You know what? You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Up here, I'm dry.
Yeah, and
I'm
everything
dry
out
as
west is the same way. It's just dry. It's a tinderbox.
Oh, we're basically kindling out here.
So yeah, you don't want to see your neighbors down the road just lighting off them things and going every which way because shit, it's scary. I like the idea. The drone thing is becoming more popular. I like that anyway.
Drone thing?
Did you see some of the videos of the drone shows they're doing?
I mean to tell you, that's some high tech shit there.
That's so cool.
That is. Have you seen them, Velica?
No, I have not.
Oh, y'all! I'm sure tomorrow night they're going to be showing them because some municipalities are going to be using them instead of traditional fireworks, and they are.
Yeah,
they just send 1,000 of them or whatever it is, 500 or up into the sky, and they're all controlled by a computer. And man, they can form everything from a boat floating by to a fireworks display. Just really cool.
If you Google Velica 4th of July drone shows, there are videos and pictures of them out there that are just wonderful.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, technology has just come a long way in the entertainment field when it comes to drones. And
But there's, be honest, I guess I'm old-fashioned. There's nothing like having a fireworks, even though I don't like the sound of them.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm like that.
An organized community fireworks show done by professionals for everyone. I really honestly don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That they do it in an area where it's safe. They have fire crews on hand. Every now and then somebody gets hurt, but those are supervised. Yeah. I'm more worried about the yachts. I had a student one year, a senior, was planning on going to the Marine Corps, and he decided the 4th of July before his senior year to go out and play with pipe bombs and M80s. He blew off his hand.
Yeah.
Well, and his whole thing is he wanted to see how long he could hold one in his hand. Yeah. His friends told him if you hold a pipe bomb in your hand and let it go off, as long as your hand wasn't closed, it won't hurt it. Well, he blew off 3 of his fingers, and the Marine Corps went, sorry, you can't fire rifles anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to put a gun in his hands anyway. Well, he ain't got a hand to pull trigger anyway, but son of a bitch. Some people are just
ignorant. He's a dumb kid. What did he, why was he making pipe bombs for?
That's a good question, but why would you hold one in your hand? Curtis, would you hold a pipe bomb in your hand? Hey, Curtis. You with us, Curtis? No, Curtis is in here, but I can't hear him.
I don't see him muted or anything.
I get that way. That's why I had to switch devices.
Yeah, one of y'all ask him. One of y'all ask him if he can hear us.
Curtis, can you hear us?
Curtis.
Yeah, no. The other day, we had someone in the room. I can't remember who, but
he's trying to reset.
Yeah, he's going to try to restart. Let me see.
He came back.
Yeah, let's see if he wants to try it again. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, his hand's up. I see you invited Jeremy, too.
Yeah,
Jeremy has a
Jeremy, all he has to do
here we go.
Accept, and he's in.
I hear it. Can you hear me?
I can't hear a thing you're saying. Curtis, try it again. How are you doing, brother?
I'm not too bad, man. Back to work. Everything's going smooth so far.
Good. Going back to work. Aren't you off tomorrow?
Oh, well, I'm off tomorrow, yes.
Okay, there you go. All right. Don't scare us like that.
I mean new job.
Oh, that's right. You had mentioned that before. How have you already reported in and all that stuff?
Yeah. I was there last week. Monday and Tuesday, I worked a manual shovel in blue clay for 2 days.
Well, that'll put them hurting on you. That'll make you feel good.
And they brightened my skies by bringing me a little mini excavator.
Oh, well, there you go. Get to play Tonka Toy. I love that shit.
Yeah, so I get to play next week.
Yeah, there you go. That's not work. Let me see what this do. I seen a guy. I don't know. I gotta say it because I seen a guy. It was a YouTube, not a YouTube. It was a TikTok video. An operator of a backhoe, and he picked up. There was like, I think it was like 6 beer bottles tied together with string, with a stiff stick to keep the distance right. This guy picked up all 6 of them, and they had another string stretched across real tight, and he hung all 6 of those beers by the cap on that string and backed his backhoe away, and all 6 beers stayed right on that string. That's an operator, baby.
Those guys are good, man.
That's somebody who knows what they're doing. I'd be
And the other guy
jerking it all around.
Yeah, the guy from the other crew came in to look and laugh at me, and I told just laugh and go away. All right,
Yeah, I'm just getting used. Let me play here. I'll figure it all out. Let me have my fun here. Jeremy, how are you, my friend?
Well, okay. No big plans for the weekend. Maybe a show tomorrow with some friends, but that's about it.
There you go. We don't have any big plans either. We'll just be relaxing here at the house. And like I said, tomorrow evening we'll probably enjoy the neighbors' fireworks while we comfort our animals. So.
Well, actually, I'm gonna go with some friends too. If you anyone's ever seen The Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Where it's based, I'm going to that ski resort, Stowe, Vermont. They're having a big fireworks display, so I'm going there tomorrow night.
Outstanding. That ought to be fun. Entertaining. Yep, we're not going more. We're going to sit right here.
It's more fun when they're choreographed with music. I've been to a couple places with shows like that, and that's pretty neat.
I got to call Randy Peterson. I think Randy's relocating to Rockport, baby. Rockport, Texas. I hope so. I got to call him back. But he sent me a website for one of the places we have over in Rockport for RVs, and it's, if you know anything, we call this the Texas Riviera down here, and it's the island life out there, baby. It's coastal living. You know, it's like California except with cowboy hats. You know, it's pretty laid back, but I understand he's going to move down here, so I'm looking forward to that. I need to call him and find out what his timeline looks like. So, be a nice addition to our area down here. We need more blue dots down here. I'll recruit as many blue dots as I can get into Texas, so help with the vote. Get here early so you can register. Shit, we need help, but I don't know. I really do. I have high hopes for this November for Texas, that we might get Beto O'Rourke elected this time. He came close last time, damn close, and I think now.
I have to ask Texans this real question.
Huh?
What the hell has your current government actually done for you?
Nothing.
Please tell me what Abbott has done.
Nothing.
Besides cost you guys billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars, and made us look like chumps, and he's made himself look like an asshole by nature, makes us look like jerks. That's what it does. That's what he's done to Texas. That's how come we're in the news as one of the bright red states. No, we're not. We're purple. We're damn near blue. We're trying hard.
Hey, John, has Abbott and the guys got the power grid fixed?
No, ain't done shit.
Going into the hottest part of summer?
Yeah, they pray a lot that nothing's going to happen, I think. That's the plan. That's the idea.
Going into hurricane season? They haven't done that yet.
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. And, yeah, no, he's too busy, worried about the border down here. He shut the border down. That's what he did. He implemented the 100% inspection on every vehicle crossing the border, and when you do that, well, you back up traffic to Mexico City, man. Nothing gets through. Produce.
Back up traffic to Flint, Michigan, dude.
Yeah, I mean, to tell you, that's in both directions. Talk about something that impacted the economy. Yeah, Greg Abbott impacted the economy for the whole freaking country because of that little stint. You want to know why inflation went up a little bit? Well, Greg Abbott down here stopping everything at the border. We get a whole lot of shit from Mexico that you buy in your local stores. So when you shut that down...
And let me emphasize, that was for a redundant inspection. Not even a first inspection.
No.
This was for inspecting stuff that had already been inspected.
Already been inspected once, where it was packed, and they have inspectors where at the site. They have special tags and stuff for that now. And everybody said, well, John, now they're inspecting 100 miles inside the border. It's always been there. Texas, when you come across the border in Brownsville, you're not going to hit a check station until you hit up by Falfurrias or Sarita, which is a good 100 miles up into the country, baby. But they're the only roads leading north, so you're going to have to come this way if you're going north.
And here's the thing, though: they're only vehicle inspections. They're kicking the tires and checking air pressures and shit like that. They can't open the trailers. They can't. Well, so it's a ridiculous thing.
Well, they can. They can open the trailer.
The feds can.
Yes.
I think even the Texans could.
Feds can, yes.
The Border Patrol is a federal agency. So when you come through a checkpoint here, you're coming through a federal checkpoint. You're coming through one controlled by the Border Patrol.
But is Greg Abbott able to mandate that they do that?
Greg Abbott can mandate that vehicles get 100% inspection. Yeah, he did it. And that's what that killed us. He did that for over a month. Well over a month. I can't remember.
Let's be
now.
Perfectly clear on that, too. He did it, but he didn't have enough facilities set up for him. He didn't have enough inspectors. He didn't have enough infrastructure to handle it.
To do it.
And he didn't consult with any of the people that this would affect.
And the reason he did it was just for spite. To cause
it was a stunt.
Yeah.
And so did they have the authority? Did they actually open trailers on the way in?
A lot of them were just open, look, and close. They were trying. The DPS was trying to. I mean, not DPS. Border agents were trying to rush through as fast as they could because of the obvious backup it was creating. I mean, it was creating a mess on the Mexican side. Greg Abbott's over here laughing his ass off. He doesn't really care, but those are goods and services coming across that border. And
right.
You wouldn't believe how much crosses that border every day for the benefit of America.
Right. It's all your fruits and vegetables coming up from Mexico and South America.
Auto parts.
Your cars.
Central America.
It's
car parts.
Yeah, car
Guess what
parts.
happened to all the mechanics working on cars when this little stunt went down? Suddenly they couldn't get in basic parts.
Yeah, there is a lot of industries that rely on us on a just-in-time supply chain route, supply chain.
So if they could open these vans and check out what's inside, that apparently they missed one last week.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yes, they don't open them all up. And like I said, the border, from what I saw happening down here, they were trying to do it expeditiously. They didn't open up every one, but they gave every one of them a cursor. You got to make every one of them stop. Because Border Patrol, you go through a checkpoint, you drive up, a lot of times they'll look at you, wave you right on through. There you go. Come on, let's go. Because you don't fit the profile of anything. And then they might see something that might alert them or something, or be suspicious about a certain profile or something, and they'll pull you over to the side, and that's it. Then they look at you. But you're right. 53 people died in a truck that made it through that checkpoint. That's that story is just heartbreaking. It shows the cruelty of man. I don't give a fuck. I got my money and I'm out of here. To leave those people.
He got caught though, and that'll be a life sentence in prison.
It better be life. He better never get out.
If we really wanted justice, we would ship him down to Mexico and let the Mexicans imprison him. Let them enjoy those.
They have a little rougher time down there. I want to thank Irish Giselle, who came in with a super chat donation. Irish, thank you very much, and I hope you're still rocking that T-shirt, baby. Anyway. Yeah.
About 2 years into Donnie's reign, my now deceased girlfriend and I were driving up around Lake George. And if you don't know where that is, it's upstate New York.
Right.
That's also where the novel and the movie The Last of the Mohicans took place, Fort William Henry. And that's about 120 miles from the Canadian border. And they had a checkpoint on the middle of the interstate going south, checking for Mexicans.
Yeah. They
coming from Canada.
I'm just putting that through my head of how they got to Canada.
Yeah, it beats me, but that's what they're looking for. They made us roll down our windows, check our back seat, check the trunk, whatever they could look at to make sure you didn't have illegal immigrants coming in from Canada.
Well, if they're coming in from Canada, they're probably not. They're not probably Mexican nationals. They're probably
They
somebody
specified
else.
Mexicans. They specified Mexicans. I'm not joking.
Really? I think
Yeah.
that would be discriminatory if they verbally said we're looking for Mexicans. That would be bad for whoever mouth that came out of.
They definitely said it. It's not a joke.
No, that is, it's sad thing is that the immigration problem could be handled in a more fair and equitable manner than we do. The Republicans aren't interested in that. The Republicans want to keep the immigration issue as a problem that they can yell at. They're not seeking to solve a goddamn thing. As with so many things, they want it to be bad. They want our society to suffer, whether it be economically or in social issues or whatever, to keep people pissed, so they can say, "Oh, look how terrible things are. You need to elect us." And that's how we got here in the first place, was their ass. So but it works for them. It works for them.
Yeah, it happens every 4 years or 8 years, depending on how long we get away with trying to clean up the country after their fucking mess.
And we do every time, huh, Curtis? Every freaking time. I'm old enough to remember every Republican since Nixon.
Yeah.
And it's a continuing theme here. They come in, they rob the bank, kick over everything, then leave, and then complain about how terrible everything is. It happens over and over and over again. And I swear, if we let Donnie Boy get hold of this office again, shame on us. We deserve what we're gonna get if we allow that to happen. Because it'll be too late then. Your vote will never matter again. And that's the absolute truth. If that son of a bitch gets in office again, you can vote all day long.
I've always had a hard time picturing what the country would look like all split apart like that. But somebody finally gave me a good metaphor, or a good comparison for that. We would become like the European Union, essentially. Each individually functioning countries and states kind of overlooked by a weak central government. Yeah, but yeah, we would have, it would be that sort of a breakdown. I can see that. Sad.
If they take over again in the midterms, I can just imagine. We're already seeing what the Supreme Court looking like, what they're going to continue their reign of terror. You get the Republicans in there, and it's going to be Katie bar the door. They're going to, voting rights will be the one thing they're going to go after, even harder. Because that's what this is all keying on. That's what Thom Hartmann's talking about. If they take away your vote legally by virtue of the Supreme Court, then we're fucked. And there are several states, including Texas, that have that out there right now. That it's the legislation can step in and declare who the winner is, regardless of the popular vote, because they suspect shenanigans. Really.
And the gerrymandering just common. They just keep gerrymandering the shit out of this thing.
Yes. That's what's happened to Texas. Texas is a prime example of a state that has been gerrymandered so much that, there's times I feel like my vote doesn't count. I'm going to vote every fucking time because you can't let that stand in the way. The mere fact that you might lose is not incentive for you to just skip the vote. You know, even if you're in a red state and the Republicans are way off the charts, go vote, because those numbers matter.
It should be extra incentive.
It should be. It should be. Because not everybody's a right-wing nut job maggot. You can even be conservative in your views and not be to the extreme of willing to overthrow a government or just steal an election outright by gunpoint, which is what I think they have an idea to do. Let me thank Claudia Garcia, who came in with a $10 donation and said, "Happy 4th to not all." I'm sorry. Happy 4th to all. Not much celebrating here. Different kind of 4th this year. Claudia, indeed, baby, it does feel different because our democracy is under attack, and it does. It is. You know, there's people going around saying wear black tomorrow to signify your disdain for the direction that the dire straits of that we're in. And let me thank Truth Seeker, who came in with a $5 donation and said, "Keep up the good work, Blue Dots rock." And indeed, they do. So thank you, Truth Seeker, and thank you, Claudia. Thank you very much for those donations, baby. We desperately need them. Anyway, yeah, it's a different feeling. And we should be concerned, because that's exactly what's happening here. Is a threat on our democracy. We saw it start on January 6th, the culmination of their plans to start this whole damn thing in motion, and it failed on January 6th, and you think, well, okay, they're going to give up. No, baby, they're regrouping. They're making a better plan. That's what they're doing. And granted, it is a minority of our population. But look what happened on January 6th. That was a minority too, baby. But if Donnie Boy would have made it to the Capitol that day, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. It'd be a whole other story. Donnie would still be in office. It's up to us, baby. It's our involvement that determines our future. That's the way we've been taught. Our self-determination, or the direction our country goes, is determined by the majority. Well, we're the majority. By anybody's count, there are more Democrats in this country and liberals than there are conservatives. It's just the nature of humanity itself, I think, the belief in equality for all. Yeah, a lot of Republicans don't think that anymore, baby. And I can see what their party has turned into. Their party has turned into exactly what you saw in Boston, what you saw up in Idaho in the back of a U-Haul van. That's who the Republican Party's turning into. What Thom Hartman was talking about when the militias come out and attack people for Donnie's sake. The same thing the brown shirts did for Hitler. 1933 Germany, baby.
Those thugs here in Woodland this weekend.
There you go. They don't really much give a shit about morals or none of that stuff, integrity. They're being trained or brainwashed by Donnie and the Republicans that it's American. Nothing could be more American than fighting for democracy in their eyes, fighting your government. That's what Dr. Oz up there in Pennsylvania said that weapons are for. Your Second Amendment right is for an over-intrusive government. I won't let that go. He did that in an ad. He's talking to them. He's telling them, get your gun. Don't, I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I keep saying he's not out there holding political rallies. He's out there trying to rally an army, baby, to fight for him. And he'll sit back and watch it. Yep, I'm with Paula. Fuck Dr. Oz. But we could, we can't let him in there. We need Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. We need to get rid of Ron Johnson and make sure that Pat Toomey's seat ends up in the hands of the Democrats with, what's his name? Fetterman?
Fetterman.
Yeah, there you go. I got so many names in my head, I swear.
He's a John. If that helps.
Huh?
He's a John. If that helps.
John Fetterman.
John.
See, no, that didn't help at all. I couldn't remember that part either. Are you shitting me? I really do have so much shit up in my head over the last 6 years. I'm surprised I remember my own damn name. Problem is, I can't recall it on demand. You know, we'll be talking about something, and then 5 minutes later, it'll cross my head. My Rolodex, baby. I got a Rolodex. I don't have these new chips up in your brain. I got an old-fashioned Rolodex. You have to kind of spin the ear to get it to go. Yes, the Proud Boys of Trump are the Hitler's SS. They're Hitler's brown shirts, baby. That's what I mean, the correlation between what I see Trump trying to do and what Hitler did. And the reason I probably think this is because when I was younger, probably I think I was maybe 24, one of those rotations. No, I think I was even younger than that. I was in Adak, Alaska. And if anybody knows where Adak, Alaska is, it's a spot out in the Aleutian chain, and nothing happens there except you freeze your freaking ass off. And that's where I was stationed at. And so you got two things to do, work or read. You didn't have TV. You ain't got none other shit. There's a poker game going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never ends. Somebody gets out of a chair, somebody gets in a chair. It was that kind of thing. But I read, amongst other books, and it was a hard book to get through, The Life and Death of Adolf Hitler. Big old thick book. I said, well, this ought to take me a little time. And you learn how Hitler, when he was young, his father was a postman. And, you know, he was brought up normally. He went on to become a painter, an artist, a pretty damn good one. He went to Vienna and did a lot of things. But then he went to World War I, and when he came out of there, he's a little fucked up in the head, I think. But anyway, it was how he used his charisma, or whatever the hell you want to call it, to start enticing people to follow him. And he got sent to prison after a bunch of shit. And when he was in prison, he came out of there, baby, ready to rock and roll. And he inspired the people of Germany to forego their own morals and do atrocities that the world still speaks of. And that's what I see in Trump. He knows what he's doing. He knows the language he uses and how he tries to incite people. He doesn't give a shit. When it was in the discussion when Cassidy Hutchinson was talking about, damn, we got to go down there and do something, that threatening to hang Mike Pence, and Mark Meadows says he thinks Mike deserves it. So if they would have gotten their hands on Mike, it would have been okay. Mark Meadows already knew, hell, it could happen. Donnie's in there rooting for it. Are you shitting me? Yes. That is the power that Hitler had over his people, over his followers. They would follow him to the gates of hell, and they did. And I suspect a lot of these maggots would do the same thing. That's what the scary part is I see this through that same paradigm. Their willingness to do atrocious things in the name of him. So far, we've already seen it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you, John.
My mind, I swear. I keep trying to tell myself I need to take a break from this shit, but I can't. I really
if you're
can't.
missing the similarities there, you're blind. You don't know any history. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have to read a book like that to see this. We can see it in his language and his demeanor. Everything is adversarial. He's not there to bring America together. Never was. Divide and conquer, baby. That's the way Donnie looks at it. And I do believe his model is Russia, where he's king forever, and it's an oligarch system, which we're not far from. You know, way this country already favors the wealthy. It's not here for your piddly ass. Anything you get, you're going to have to fight for it, beg for it, for this country to give us. And there is so much that they could do to ensure a better world and a better future for everybody. But it gets in the way of making money. Are you shitting me? Free college, although we tell people now, we tell our young, you got to get a college education. You know, if you really want to succeed in life, you at least have to have 4 years of college. Well, then why don't we do what we did with high school, make it free? Make it.
Some minimum wage required college.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I got all choked up with Stephen Hall. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, Stephen, thank you very much, brother. Welcome to the family. Glad you joined us. Anyway, we do have to fight for this shit if we want it. We don't have to do it the way Donnie Boy is suggesting, or Dr. Oz. You don't have to go get your gun. You have to use your voice. That's what this is all about. That's what 6 years of running my mouth has been about. That we have to use our voice in our vote. We should be proud to do that, especially on reflecting on what this July 4th is supposed to mean to us. Then we should be proud to be standing on this side, baby. Because we're still fighting for the rights of all, which is what this country has been through since its birth. A continuous fight for the rights of all of us. And look how long it took us to get even halfway here. So, yeah. We have to be involved in this shit. If we're not, it's just going to go away. Like I said, eventually, 10, 15 years from now, we'll all be drinking vodka, calling each other comrade. Having some job you can go to and just barely stay and get home. Power will be slack because, you won't be able to afford the shit. It's a bleak picture if you want to carry it out. It's not the shining city on the hill that they're trying to sell these Republicans. That's what they're going to be. No, they're going to price us all out of existence. The ability to survive, the ability to provide shelter for your house, for your family, or food on your table. They're all so willing and fast to raise prices, but your wages, you're going to have to fight for that shit, baby. Anything that is perceived as a benefit to the people, the Republicans call socialism. And if we're not here for the people, why the fuck are we here? If our government isn't for the people, then what do we have? Of the people, by the people, for all that. What is that? If it doesn't do it. And the best example I always point out is the tax code. You think that's written for your ass? It's a big, thick freaking book, and none of it's written for you. It's all written by business people to make sure that they don't have to pay any fucking taxes. And the rest of it, the burden is put on the state. That's us, baby. You pay your taxes. You ain't got no damn choice. They'll take it out of your paycheck, buddy. Are you shitting me? You don't have a choice in this. Rich people, they get paid all their money and then have a tax lawyer go figure out how much I owe you. Yeah, why don't you take it out the same way you take it out when we get it? You make $1 million, you take a big chunk and then make them come back and prove that you weren't supposed to take it. That's the way it works down here. It doesn't work that way. That's what I mean. That tax code isn't written for our ass. Hardly anything in our Constitution, and not in our Constitution, but in our laws are. They're designed to either keep power in power or keep the wealthy rich. It's a sad way to look at our country, man. Yep, no, Don Cheeto, we haven't had a Democratic governor since the mid-'90s, baby. Ann Richards. I miss her, baby. When Texas was not known as such a redneck, get your guns and shoot everything that moves state. I don't know. You keep working for the best you can. That's all we can do. That's all any of us can do. But I urge you, if you get an urge to write a letter to your congressman, your senator. Just the mere fact of writing something out on paper and mailing it it gives you a sense of satisfaction, and I will guarantee you, you will get a response. It may not be from the person you're writing to, but his staff will get back to you. It might be with a very pleasantly worded "fuck you," but whatever it will, you will get a response. What's that? See, that's when I know I run my mouth as too much, is when I stop and nobody says nothing. It's like, God, I'm crowding to come. I run my mouth too much.
I kind of got lost in the chat.
Oh, what's going on in the chat? Michael Falbister, power to the people, baby. And it's an old saying, but it means everything. It means everything. It is our power. Jesus. Willie Nelson for president. There you go. There's a guy I could get behind. All this horse shit in Texas is all repug made. It is true, Don Cheeto. Don Cheeto he's got his eye on this shit. Must live down here. Marco Rubio is a crook senator. Yeah, there's a chance on him getting, I have more confidence in the fact that maybe Wisconsin and maybe Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania should be a gimme. Dr. Oz, really? That's the best you got? And then Wisconsin, I mean, how much more embarrassed can you get from the guy that's there? Ron Johnson, are you shitting me? The guy that can't figure out, I don't know what I'm doing. Shit, I'll leave that up to somebody else.
I know Val Dennings down in Florida against Rubio is taking a big jump.
Is she? Did you see where Gavin Newsom's running ads out in Florida? First ads are going to run tomorrow, I think. And, Gavin Newsom. That's a good question, David. That's a good question.
For like Val Dennings?
No, it was in the news earlier. He's got an ad he's going to start running down in Florida, and I saw a little piece of it. It talks about Floridians losing their freedoms while their governor is banning books and trying to ban words and something. Come to California, or insinuated, i.e., listen to what we're doing out here. And why would he do that? Why would Gavin Newsom run an ad in Florida unless he ain't got his eye on 24?
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. There's a lot of talk about, is Biden really going to run? He's going to be, 84? There's a lot of people that he says he's going to run again. And if he does, baby, that's the guy I'm behind. Because that's what I always say. This is what kills you about fucking Republicans and Democrats. Republicans, I don't give a shit what kind of puke-ass person, and Trump being a prime example, the Republicans put up there, everybody will go vote for, every freaking Republican will go vote for him. Democrats, I don't know, it wasn't Bernie, so I'm not going to go vote, or it wasn't Elizabeth Warren, so I'm not going to go vote. We fucking play that thing. We need to get our shit together. Whoever the nominee is, it says it all, no matter who, vote blue, baby. That's what I don't give a shit from dog catcher all the way up. Take the time, baby, because it means so much.
Am I just crazy? I thought it always was maximize gain, minimize loss. You're going to land in the middle most of the time, but you don't stop. Just lead the process.
Yeah. Well, if you do,
I may not be happy that candidate's who it is because I had support someone else,
right.
But I know what they aren't. They aren't Republican.
I told people up from the beginning when I first started this shit in the primaries, I voted for Bernie. I am more progressive. I want to see shit happen down here for the people. I want a reconcentration in our national policy to be concerned with the people at the bottom instead of the people at the top, because the people at the how many yachts does Betsy DeVos own? 7, 8? Big mega yachts? Are you shitting me? The wealthy are doing fine. They don't need any help. You don't need to throw them a life preserver. Hell, they got the big old fucking yacht. You need to throw that life preserver down here to the people. And they could do that with things like free college. If you're going to tell me that children need that kind of education to be entering into the world that we have facing them, then give that to them. And I'm, even when Andrew Yang came out with the $1,000 a month, universal income for everybody in the country. Can you believe what that would do for a lot of households? A lot of households. $1,000, and it would be sucked up fast
because there would be a need for it. And it is not fucking welfare. It is their tax dollars at work for the society we live in to better all of us. We shouldn't have a fucking country where tent cities are every fucking where. We shouldn't have to have people having to go through food lines. We should give a shit about the people in our country to help take care of the citizens. Not everybody's going to get the cushy job. There's not that many of them. A lot of them have fucking steel-toed shoes. And it'll wear a body out, baby. So we need to take care of those people. Lift those people up. If you lift up the bottom, guess what? All that money they're going to spend, you give the family, somebody $1,000 a month, and they're going to spend it, baby. It'll end up in the rich man's hand by the end of the freaking day. I don't know what they're worried about. Greed is all I can figure. They want it all. They don't want to give a crumb. There's been never been such a disparity between what a working man gets and the head of the company gets, the CEO. Are you shitting me? I've said it lots of times. Go look up a CEO of a health fair or an insurance company and tell me how many policies have to be sold just to satisfy their payment. How many people have to give up their money just to pay him? They'll get around to fixing your car or authorizing that operation sometime, if you qualify. I don't know. I ramble on too much.
Well, that's the point of the show, though, is to get some rambling done. Sort your thoughts.
Well, it's all I can do. You know, when I started this, I said from the beginning, I don't have the money to drive to Washington and pound on somebody's desk or go to marches all the time. What I have is my voice. That's all I've had from the beginning. That's all any of us have.
I kind of hope it becomes for you that pressure valve that lets you release your blood pressure off instead of building it up.
Yeah. Blood pressure seems to be a high item of concern around my house, not just mine. Mine seems to be doing fine. It's my wife's I'm concerned about, and it's not high blood pressure. Her pressure has been dropping to damn near fucking nothing, and it's scaring me to death. And, we'll do her blood pressure, and it'll be like 90 over 45 or 90 over 30 or something.
Low.
Yeah. Really getting fucking scary.
Ask her to add just a little bit more salt in her diet.
If that'll do it, I'll shove fucking buckets down. No, she's not doing as well as I would hope. But
make sure she's staying hydrated, of course.
yeah, she does, and she's trying to take care of herself, but she's lost an awful lot of weight, and I am concerned.
Don't just tell her, just add just a little bit of salt, just not very much, just enough.
Yeah.
It might bring it up a little bit.
Well,
Is she on any medication for high blood pressure?
Yes,
she is,
and
maybe then it's time for her to go to the doctor and have that reduced.
we're gonna do that
reduced.
because she's on one that I was taking years ago, and is one of the reasons why I passed that one time. I was taking a drug called Atenolol, and over the years it built up in my system, I guess, and all of a sudden my blood pressure dropped to nothing, and I passed out, and I'm afraid the same thing's happening to her. Anyway, I want to thank NT. NT just came in with a $5 donation through Super Chat. NT, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Joe Cyber, thank you for subscribing, buddy, on YouTube. We appreciate it. And welcome to the family. We appreciate everybody that donates to this show, so seriously. Anyway, let me do that. Anyway, it's about time, I guess, we wrap it up. Been on here an hour and a half. That's the way I like to try to keep it somewhere in there. I don't want to take up everybody's time. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Tracey.
Thank you, Tracey.
Yeah, I just looked up there and saw it. Timothy, I think you're right. Biden is way underestimated. I think we haven't seen. I've seen a change in him since he first became president. I have. He is taking more of a turn of in your face. Let's get something done, and I hope I see that continue. Because we have to, baby.
we have to.
Part of my brain goes back and forth between what do we have to lose, and then my response that we've got everything to lose.
We do.
So why not?
Something must have happened in the chat, and I was just wondering what it is. Sometimes I let too much of the chat go by. Oh well.
Chat's pretty good.
Is it good? I will.
Yeah,
I will
people
try.
saying goodnight and stuff.
You know, that's the best part of this. I go back and I look at the comments and everything because I can't keep my my eye on it, all the time because you know, my eyes and my brain will fuck up and I forget what I'm saying. But it is that chat that I love so much because that's the family, baby. This conversation that we have, indeed, it is family, but this is the conversation. We talk about a lot of things. The real family business is going on in that chat, and that's the part of this, and I've said it so often, that's the part of this that I love the most, is the friendships and connections that have been made within this chat, within this family. We have Blue Dots that have traveled halfway across the country just to meet other Blue Dots. It's fantastic. I'm so happy when I think of the friendships that have been formed through this Blue Dot family. And for me, that's the goal, baby. That's the nugget of this whole thing. Is that for me? And besides that, I get to sit up here and be the one to run his mouth all day. Louis Russo came in with a $10 donation through Super Chat. Louis, thank you tremendously, brother. We appreciate it. Every donation. I want to thank everybody that donated tonight, and the names that you see going by are Patreon members who see fit to donate on a monthly basis through our Patreon page. And you know, as little as $1 a month, baby, you can sign up anyway. Without their help, I don't know if I could keep this going. It's gotten tough, just like everybody else. Inflation, everything costs more, and since the election, we have declined in membership and all that, as far as that goes. But so yeah, it's tough for all of us. And so if you can't give, baby, I believe I understand why. Is anybody else's phone chiming off the hook every time you turn around with Democrats wanting money? Oh, Jesus Christ. My phone is just going ding-a, 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 ding-a.
It drives me crazy.
20 times a day, baby. It's like it's either Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or somebody chiming in for
emails from
donation.
them, and I put it in my BS bin.
Yeah, that's where I have to file them. If I could, I would. If I was in a position that I had money, then yeah, I would donate to causes I believe in. Right now, I'm having a hard time keeping my ass afloat. Be worried right now, and that
This is why on my computer I used to have it.
All of us are in that same boat.
Trash can. You have that trash can icon in your.
Yeah.
I renamed it one time. BS bin.
I have one in my head.
Bullshit
put
bin.
that right over
That's
there.
where all my political bullshit goes.
Well, a lot of it. I have two bins: bullshit bin, and in the other bin that says, "You can't do nothing about it, so get it out of your fucking head." And that is something that you should do, but you ain't got no way of doing, so what the fuck? You know, you're just going to have to face consequences and all that kind of shit. It gets nasty and all that kind of crap. But anyway, now we're just talking about life in general for all of us. But again, that's where my head goes, because that's who I want our government working for. Us. The ones down here busting their ass every day to make this nation work. To make the fucking wheels turn, to get the groceries delivered to the fucking store, to build the fucking car, to repair the fucking refrigerator, or whatever the fuck it is. It's us down here doing this shit. And I just want a government that recognizes that and provides what they say they think we're worth. That's all. Anyway, now I'm just going to ramble on. I appreciate everybody coming in. Curtis, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Stopping in.
Glad to be here.
Outstanding. And Velica, baby, hugs to you. Hugs. I got you first.
Hugs.
Anyway, Bella, thank you for coming in. And David, your voice is always.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, baby. Raise your finger and you're in here. That's all it takes. I'm just glad you came in, baby. And David, your voice always appreciated here, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you have a great 4th of July. I hope we all have a great 4th
You
of
too.
July. And, dude, take
Hey,
that.
don't
moment
nobody
tomorrow.
blow their fingers off, okay?
Huh?
Nobody blow their fingers off.
Nobody blow your fingers off. Don't hold the M80. Don't hold the pipe bomb. As a matter of fact, don't light nothing. Go watch it somewhere. You'll be a lot safer. But if you do, be careful with it. Because we want your ass back here on Tuesday. Because we're going to take a count of fingers. Anyway, I love you for being here. Again, take care of yourself. Enjoy your 4th of day, your 4th of July holiday. And do take the moment to remember that our democracy is on the line here, baby. Our freedoms that we're going to celebrate tomorrow are on the line, and they're on the line this November. Keep that in mind, baby, because if you want to stand up for democracy, now would be a good time to do that. Anyway, and as always, try to put a smile on somebody else's face, baby, because it's going to make you feel better. It's the best way to try to go through life, is try to make somebody else smile sometime during your day. It's going to benefit you the most. Anyway, I love you. Y'all take care. Y'all say goodnight.
Not all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night here for another Blue Dot family meeting. Until then, just take care of yourself and be careful. And